What's up YouTube, DannyHype here with another Dragon Ball Super TCG video. Today's video is of the tournament that I had this past Sunday over on OCTGN. I streamed it live on Twitch TV. We had 32 participants. I'd like to thank everyone for showing up. I'd like to thank all the viewers that we had. We had a good amount of viewers the whole night. You guys made it a blast to host. I'd also like to do a special thanks to Dusty from Kitchen Table Meta. He helped me set up the tournament, he helped me organize the tournament, and he helped me do the commentary throughout the whole night. I had a blast doing it with him, and yeah, thanks again Dusty for helping me run the tournament. It ran pretty smoothly. If you guys want to see any more types of tournaments, leave a comment section below. Any suggestions help me improve the tournaments, help me, what kind of prizing do you guys want? Do you guys want entry fees? Do you guys want free tournaments? I don't mind hosting tournaments. I had a blast doing it and streaming it on Twitch TV. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, just leave it in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, thanks again. This is match 1 of the finals that we had. I'll also be posting match 2 as well of the finals. And yeah, thanks again guys for all the support.
Press start.
Pretty interesting. I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup. Can you guys explain that you roll the dice before drawing? It's an annoying rule a ton of people don't follow. I'm not sure what you mean by explain it, because you kind of explained it in your question, but essentially you roll your dice first, and then whoever wins the roll has to go first, and then you draw your 6 cards and do your mulligan. It's actually very common that that's how it works. Most games do it this way, and that way you can kind of judge your mulligan on what cards you want to, whether you're going first or second. So, maybe objection might be bad if you're going second, but might be very good if you're going first, for example. That's just an example, by the way, not at all how it works. And so that way, you can keep the cards you want. So I guess for a better example, Kaba, for example, was very good if you're going second, but not very good if you're going first. So. Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of people talk about they don't like that you have to go first. Honestly, guys, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, if you win and you choose to go first, I mean, if you win and you have to go first, is the same thing as you like losing and choosing to go second. I mean, winning and choosing to go second. You know what I mean? It's like the same way. It's just a different way to do it. Okay, so let's get into the game. We have Vegeta's first match here. I mean, first turn was playing out Bulma, which we expected. He likes to run those cheap 1-cost cards to get out, to get card advantage, get some early combos out. And Ginyu's first play was a Boo. And so again, I think he's really want to get into the Goldos here. That's something that he really wants to get. And that way he can start putting a little bit of pressure, having some defensive ability against the Vegeta.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this matchup goes, because I wonder if the Ginyu player seen this Vegeta player, which I think he did when he was watching the first semis, he should know to expect certain plays, and like we've seen it for the last like 2-3 games that Vegeta played, how he went about it, and it's a really effective way to do it, especially if your opponent, especially in best of ones when your opponent doesn't expect it. But hopefully he'll be able to adapt to how this Vegeta player plays and not get 150k Boo attacked.
get the Boo coming on him. Yeah, I understand. You're saying it's not the same because if you want to go first and you win the roll, you would be able to choose to go first. But what I'm trying to tell you is it is the same because you hoping you win the roll, so you can choose to go first or second. Let's say second. Let's say you hoping you win the roll so you can choose to go second is the same thing as you hoping you lose the roll so you have to go second. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm honestly, I still haven't really determined whether I want to go first or second, so I'm actually kind of happy that I kind of lose the choice. Like the dice decided for me, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna say going first or second, because I guess certain decks you obviously want to go first or second in certain matchups, but for the most part, I'm kind of just like, no, I don't really care. Let's just roll.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, that's how card games work. Sometimes you want to go first, sometimes you want to go second. There's certain matchups where it doesn't, but essentially it still comes down to a die roll, and whether you can choose or not is the same thing. I mean, it's just you're hoping that you either win or lose the roll depending on the matchup. Is the same thing as hoping that you win the roll so you can choose the one you want. It's the same thing. It's just it feels like you have less control, but it still comes down to a die roll.
Yep, we got So this is where I feel like I wonder if Vegeta should attack. I see him attacking here, sure gives him a crit, and this Ginyu takes it. But on Ginyu's turn now, he's going to he gets to awaken. Oh, he stopped it. Oh no, he didn't. He took the he took the card.
Yeah, I took the card.
Yeah, so now Ginyu gets to awaken, goes to 15. He draws his 2. Then he gets to swing at that Vegeta, who most likely will end up taking it because he doesn't want to. I doubt. Well, he'll have to combo off a lot just to protect that 1 life, and he doesn't get that extra crit from it. Like, because once he gets to 4, I don't. Well, yeah, he probably won't crit again, the way he plays. Because I don't think he really gets to turn 7, because he plays really fast. But actually, this Ginyu actually looks like it's set up really nice because.
Yeah, I mean the Ginyu deck is set up nice, but you gotta think too. It's right now it's 7. It's 8 to 8. You know what I mean? And that's usually not how this Ginyu deck has been playing. Usually the Ginyu deck has been playing like, you know, I have 12 cards in hand, you have 5. You know what I mean? So they're becoming a lot closer. And where the Vegeta deck has a lot of, I guess, has an upside is that the Ginyu deck runs a lot of extra cards in hand, and whenever it comes down to combo versus combo, it's going to be it's going to be very hard for this Ginyu deck to kind of out combo the Vegeta deck.
See, now he's about to have 12 cards in hand. He's only on turn 3 though. Actually, I guess the card advantage comes for Vegeta. He has 3, 4, 5. He has 6 1-drops out there, or 7 1-drops. 6, sorry, 6 1-drops out there, which that's actually very annoying. That's that's 6 on. That's crazy.
Yep, that's a lot of cards in hand. It's 8 to 11 right now, and he got awakened first. Okay, so what the Vegeta's going to do here? Is he going to take it, or is he going to use some of these cards so he can have a more strong critical attack on the next turn? It's very tough. It's a tough decision here. I think. I guess he's just going. Is he just going to take it? Yeah, he's just take it. So. Okay.
So he takes it. So he's 9, but he has 6 on board. So it's really a 15 to 11 card deficit here.
Yeah, it is. You're right. And so, like, I mean, honestly though, I think I would have maybe have not taken the hit there. I think I might have just like comboed out, and that way I could make sure I have a critical attack coming in.
Exactly. Yeah.
For the next attack,
because that critical attacks put a lot more pressure. Although I feel like can you stop the attack regardless if it was critical or not? But yeah, it makes him that he will have to guard it, opposed to
right. Yeah, definitely.
3, yeah.
Yep.
This over.
So it's 11. I wonder if he's going to play energy here.
I think he did already, didn't he?
Did he play one already?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, he did. Yeah. I wonder if we go past 4 energy. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, Lapu, this is the finals. This is game 1 of the finals right now.
Attacks to 15. Ooh, this is a very unique situation just happened here. I'm kind of confused. He has 13 cards in hand. That's really good. But like he took a life, went critical, and kind of forced the block from Ginyu.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like that was kind of a weird play to me. I'm sure he has something in hand that he could have used to got rid of that blocker and still put pressure on his. I don't think he had to take a life to kill the blocker there. But may I'm incorrect.
He definitely. Oh man, this Ginyu really needs to find a way to get rid of. What is this? 3, 6, 7 1-drops on the board.
7 1-drops.
That's
pretty good.
You don't see that too often, but that looks.
You don't.
They're essentially 7 blockers almost. Because it's
going to be the 2-cost upgrade. Looks like it's going to be the 2-cost upgrade. Maybe now it's not going to be.
Yeah, where's that Vados when you need it, right? And he got a boo. He feels like he draws into everything. He has 13 cards in hand. 8 things on
3,
board.
6, 7, 8 on board.
Jeez.
He has 21 cards essentially.
And I don't think there's anything in the Ginyu deck that can wipe that all out in one shot.
No, I mean, it might run like a Bardock or 2, but it still can't wipe them all out. I mean, it's not currently possible. So here it looks like he's going to play out the 3-drop finally, get a 15,000 attacker in. Now, I don't know if he'll choose to attack with this. I wouldn't if I was him. I wouldn't choose to attack. I would keep it here, and that way you can put a lot of pressure on if you have the 4-cost. I'm sorry, the 5-cost Goku, then you can put a lot more pressure on your opponent. But I wouldn't attack here unless he wants to maybe attack with the double striker card, and then try to maybe take him down to 2 life to try to finish him off the next turn. But we'll see.
This is tough. I can't believe he's able to. I can't believe this is ridiculous. I can't believe. Like my one friend who plays a similar deck to this, he does the same thing, and he gets. So whenever I see this on board, it's kind of like ugh. But I guess this really makes you think of a side, because I remember seeing in Jordan's side deck he played that Goku, the 6-drop Goku, the green one that can essentially kill a bunch of things on the board. So I guess that's a good side deck card for in these situations. But he's nowhere near turn 6, so
right. Yeah, because you got to think. I mean, if he attacks right here, he essentially gives the Ginyu an attack into this, but he can protect it with a Boo. So essentially giving his opponent a card. Now if he has a double strike card, he's putting a lot of pressure on his opponent. And the only way his opponent can kill this is if he has the attacking, Furious attacking, or Raging attacking Vegeta, but he has one in energy, and he needs another green to be able to do that. Because he can't use Beerus to kill it because he's energy short, he needs 5 energy to do that. And so if he gives this double strike, I agree with this attack. If he doesn't, it seems a little ambitious. But maybe not. Maybe it's just a free card. Maybe you get another 3 life, and then you work your magic the next turn.
See what he does, because it's like the cards are they both have a lot of cards, so I don't think Ginyu's gonna die anytime soon. But yeah, we'll see how these 1-drops play out, because they look rather daunting.
Yeah, like I said, it's a huge advantage. I mean, that's so many 1-drops, and it's like, it's something that you can't easily power back through. Another thing is like, I guess I wasn't really thinking about is, I actually think he might have. I think he probably should have put a little bit more pressure on him with this Goku, now that I think about it. Because you attack the Ginyu, you put a lot of pressure on him. And then if he tries to kill it with any of his threats, then he taps out, essentially, right? So if he attacks, if he uses like Furious Tail Vegeta or Raging attacking Vegeta to kill this, then he's tapped out. And I think that's where Vegeta wants you. So that's actually a good point. I don't know.
Right,
I think he maybe should have went a little bit harder on that attack, maybe.
And this is actually another reason why I like Objection, because against decks that push you pretty fast, like especially Ginyu, because Ginyu can afford to play the Objection. It will really speed up. Like right now, he's only going to hit to turn 4, which there isn't really much you can do on turn 4 without actually tapping out your energy. So yeah, having an Objection and being on what now it would be his turn 5, coming on turn 6, he can start playing things more and start putting pressure. Because right now, I don't feel like he can put on too much pressure.
I don't know if I agree with this Crusher Ball play either.
As energy, or?
Yeah, as energy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like what? I mean, maybe he wants to play out 2 blockers here, maybe. But it just seems very like you want to. I would want a Crusher Ball in hand, and that way I can stop this. Because if I was playing the Ginyu, what I'd be afraid of right now is my opponent playing Super Saiyan 3, blue Goku out and attacking me twice for 20,000 double strike on my next turn, and Crusher Ball stops that on the evolve. So. To me, that's actually one card I was afraid of. Maybe again, he might have multiple in his hand, so I don't want to like trash talk him too much. But it's possible he just has like another one in hand, and he just.
That's true. Also, Club Bolus kind of does the same thing, so maybe he just wants his Club Bolus instead. But then, for most, at least when I heard from Jordan's video, he doesn't really play. Like I think the energy ratio was like 3 blues, 2 greens, and a yellow or something like that, and he usually never went past 6.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think that's one mistake a lot of players are making currently in the game is they play energy every single turn, and that's fine for certain decks to do that. But I think a lot of that at some point, I think it's okay to stop playing energy and start worrying more about card advantage. I mean, this game is a lot more about keeping cards in your hand than I think people really think.
Yeah, DBS headquarters, he actually has an article on that about like diminishing returns on the on at which point do you stop playing energy in a sense, and. So yeah, you're right. So there's a certain point in the game where playing energy isn't really beneficial to you anymore, and you should just, unless it's like dead cards, which would only be results of training or like Objection usually in most decks at coming late game. Yeah, there's really no point. Save your cards, use them to combo, use them to play. But let's see what he has. So it's 10 to 12 cards, 4 to 3 life. Vegeta looks like he's ahead right now, but Ginyu's not in totally bad shape.
I mean, in my opinion, Vegeta's extremely ahead. I mean, the only thing I guess that he could be worried about here is Crusher Ball, and even that isn't that big of a deal, right? Because like what's going to happen is if he plays out a threat and it gets Crusher Balled, he's like, it sucks. You know what I mean? And now I'm just going to attack you with my leader, keep putting pressure on you.
Whoa.
He took another life.
Yeah.
So he's going for that critical. I think it's probably okay at this point for the Vegeta player to stop taking.
Actually, that's really scary that he's doing that.
Yeah, because I mean, what could happen next turn is his opponent could, go all in on like a Gotenks.
Yeah, he really needs Well, I guess he must have a lot of good cards in his hand to feel protected at 2, but still, that's a scary place to be. Here we go. Because yeah, we haven't seen him.
The gate right here. Yeah.
We haven't seen him touch turn 7, so it's like usually if you are going to use Vegeta's ability, you know, if you have 7 energy is the best time, because if you have 7 blue you get the 10k, but he used that on 4 energy and 6 energy and he didn't really get much out of it.
Well, the last one was, I think, the worst one, because he tapped it into a blocker, which seems... Yeah. I mean, this one, I mean, he's attacking into a negate. I mean, it's pretty likely when your opponent has 10 cards in hand that one of them is probably going to be a negate.
Yep.
So, yeah, at this point, I don't think you need the critical effect anymore. You just try to put as much pressure on your opponent as you can and then go all in at the end.
Yeah. Although, it's scary for Ginyu, because Ginyu, like, even if he, let's say, taps out in a sense, but not actually, if he taps down to 1 energy, 2 energy, and he's still in a pretty vulnerable spot, depending what Vegeta has in his hand, because he does have 13 cards in his hand, and you're right, that dual attack, dual attack
Goku is it's very scary.
It's going to be really scary, and he's going to need to save those crushers, like you said, or crusher balls, or so you can't be playing 4 or 5 drop things these next couple turns. He has to play like he can't play on curve. Basically, he has to wait it out, weather the storm.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Because the second he can start dropping his 4 drops, like his Beerus's, like, you know, trading things off the board and swinging at his leader, because at that point, now that he swings, Vegeta has to guard everything because it's lethal at this point, and that's when Vegeta will start losing cards from his hand. But he can't get to that point yet, because if he taps out or gets close to tapping out, Vegeta could easily game him, especially with all those further destructions in his hand.
Yeah, I'd say it's very unlikely too that the Vegeta player doesn't have a counter. So, Kitchtail, man, this is for you. Here it goes. Please finally play my boy. Play him out.
Is it the
Super Saiyan 3. I love this card. Yeah, Crusher Ball.
Right, he did have that. That's why he played it, because he did have the 3rd Crusher.
We knew it. I still think that the Crusher play was maybe. Not good enough. I mean, that Crusher play is obviously fine, but I think playing in the energy, I think it still seems like one of the best cards in the matchup for you right now.
Yeah, because if he had it on for because next turn, unless he has a 4th one, I think the best play would be, you know, you can throw it on his 4-drop Beerus, you know, get rid of that dual attacking Goku, swing at leader, make him dump some cards, and then, and I'm pretty sure Vegeta won't be able to play multiple double strikers or too many threats that you can hopefully Crusher Ball one of them and he can't game you on his turn, but he does have a lot of those 1-drops, and I honestly feel like he can use those 1-drops with that further destruction for game. But I think that's what's gonna happen. I think one of these 1-drops is gonna be the killer.
You think so? You think what?
I think he's gonna do. I think he's gonna do another.
It better be Boo, man. That's like what I want. I want Boo to come through. That's like the all-star Boo.
If you can pull it off with Bulma, that would be insane. A 1k attacker for game double strike.
But I mean, Ginyu player is getting far behind. If it wasn't for this Vegeta player taking so much life, I think it would have been. I think he would be in some. If he had 4 life still.
Yeah.
4 life to 4 life with 12 cards in hand to 8. I mean, he would be in just such a fantastic spot here. Yeah. But again, like, I think the Ginyu player is doing what he's supposed to be doing here. He's not. You know, again, we're not going to see a Super Saiyan Gotenks come down this turn because he doesn't have 2 green. So that's should be a sigh of relief for the Vegeta player. And so really, he can't play a threat out here and like expect to live, essentially. If he plays just 2 blue to play out like a Beerus right here, he's not going to have enough to survive this onslaught that Vegeta player has on board. So
damn, it's scary that he threw his Jaco down just because of the way Vegeta plays. Having as many Jacos in your hand as you can to out combo your opponent would really help.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But we'll see. He does have 7 cards in hand, so they must be quite important.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, to me, do you have a Bloodlust in hand? Do you have some more blockers? I mean, some Goldos in hand would be awesome right now. Just having like 1 or 2 Goldos out, and then you can keep your blue up for like Sensu Beans and negates. You can't really afford to play a threat here because there's absolutely, in my opinion, there's no way he can play a threat and get through. I don't think he can play a threat and get through the 1-drops, let alone what's in the 12 cards in his hand.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious to see what happens here. I'm anxious to see what his plan is here.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah, he does. He definitely has to wait a little bit longer until he starts playing his bigger drops.
I think pressuring the attackers here might be a little loose as well. I think maybe at this point you just try to pressure Vegeta.
Ooh, I'm surprised he threw. I guess. Actually, never mind. I guess the negates are negates, but I think he could have gotten away with just throwing a Bulma in it. But I think he's going to save all of his Bulmas for his ultimate combo.
Yeah, I think that's the playstyle Eddie plays. And I'll say that's one thing about this game I love is I feel like you can play the game and like I play the game more aggressively, and so I probably would have used my negate there, and that way I would have all my combos ready for the aggression. So similar to I think how Eddie's playing. But then I have most of my friends play like you're talking about. They play more defensively, and they would rather use their cards defensively and win like in a later game. So I think that's so cool that you can have essentially the same deck, same cards, and play it in two completely different styles. And I don't think either one is right or wrong, which is even cooler. It's just so tough.
He still has 8 cards in hand. He does have 2 more life, so technically he could have 10 cards in hand. So, actually, never mind. It's like he's not so far behind in life in hand, but that board advantage. I don't think he has any ways to answer that, but if he could somehow wipe that out, that would completely change, like, swing the game back in his favor.
Yeah, I think we're safe to say that this is a blue-red deck, only in sideboard.
Yeah. You must pierce me. Wait, does this have? It's just. Oh, it's doubles. Okay, dual attack is only when it's played, right? In this card games, yeah. Okay, when you card evolves, yeah. So he only has double strike. Actually, not only double strike's crazy.
So I hear they're talking about the Beerus play. They're saying, you know,
you must Beerus me, or you lose next turn unless you have infinite negates.
I just feel like, I mean, obviously, again, we don't know what's in his hand, but this Beerus just seems like it's essentially saying, I lose. I mean, I don't see how he doesn't win next game. I mean, how he doesn't just lose now. So I guess he's just trying to go in right now, just like, I'll attack your Vegeta and like...
Yeah, because, well, I guess if he doesn't have any double strikers on board right now, that's why he's saying he needs to play that to get rid of that double striker, because if he plays that... Actually, I guess if he... it depends what he has in his hand, too, because he saved his energy.
Because he's going to attack the Goku here, right? He has to attack the Goku here. He has to try to get both threats off the board and hope he has nothing to play. Yeah. But I feel like a counter immediately.
Yeah. He needs he definitely needs another Crusher Ball in hand, or Cold Bloodlust, I guess. But
yeah, it seems like I think the attack at the Vegeta is just was incorrect. I think we have to try to maybe get the Goku off the board, but then even then I think you still die to like
Majin Buu.
Yeah, like double attack. Yeah, exactly. Any of the little guys out. So it's just tough, man. It's a tough deck for the Guinea to deal with, especially when he has 13 1-drops out of the field.
Yeah, he's dropped pretty well into that. But I guess with the Vegeta, his inherit, he basically draw 2 cards a turn. It's easy to find these cards, and they all search for more cards. Keeps his hand nice, and yeah, this is a really good deck. One of the guys I think the local plays a similar deck to this, and been beaten nowadays, but it's hard to see how people beat this, like the way he's playing this right now. I can't imagine what again you could probably do right now to come back from this. We'll see.
It's going to be tough. I think maybe Eddie might get disconnected. Might be one way.
Oh, is he taking an energy? I like him. Oh, let's see. If he's going for game, I guess that doesn't. I guess that's.
Yeah. Looks like he maybe got another Super Saiyan 3. He's going to play it on top of the Goku. Nope, just going for Whis. Interesting.
Huh. Maybe I'll try to kill him with Whis.
Hey, it's better than a Boo. One thing that that Eddie's doing in this game that I think is
oh my god! Well,
no.
Sorry. He's just like, please, I need a blue. And what are the odds he pulled one of the 4 red? That's actually what happened to a Vegeta player. He at one of my locals, he Whist on turn 4, and he had a bunch of counter senzu beans in his hand, but he ended up pulling the red for the destruction on his 5th mana, and he died because he wasn't able to counter. Yeah.
What he's trying to do is he's trying to play the Whis out to get 7 blue, so he gets his 10,000 effect, and he hit the red. So that's actually pretty annoying. So we don't know his deck list, so we're not sure how many red targets. But my guess is he probably has four non blue cards in his deck. Probably
that's actually kind of crazy. Let's see how many cards he has left in his deck for that even be potential. So he had 18 cards in his deck, 4 of which I'm assuming were this further destruction, and I'm assuming he has some in hand. So The odds of him getting that are pretty pretty funny.
Oh yeah, pretty low. And knowing Eddie, he probably has at least two of the dual attack red cards in hand. So there's probably only like what, like two and what,
yeah.
2 in a 30 chance that he doesn't.
I think he's saying 1 in 4. Damn, that's crazy.
I don't think it's going to matter though. I really don't. I think it's probably still going to be okay with how his board presence looks and stuff. But still, it's definitely frustrating.
And he did take the crit, so he does have the crit. He's 15k. He definitely needs one of these attacks to go through, but I guess if you can counter the crit attack, it's pretty good. Wow, a Boo. He really draw into all of his Boos, Gokus, and Bulmas. That's crazy.
Maybe he just drawed an objection, and he can objection a blue mana.
I guess he doesn't really play too many other big drops, eh? Like, I'm trying to think of what else is in his deck, but besides that's past these 1-drops, and it's really just he plays the Goku Evolves, maybe the Beerus, the Whis, and is that about it? Jayco's?
We haven't seen anything past a 4-drop so far. Well, I guess the 5-drop if you count the actual cost of the Super Saiyan 3, but I mean he's playing it as a 4-drop. But
plays a Sensu Bean.
He's my hero.
And the Further Destruction.
So he's at 20, 30.
Oops.
30k double strike.
I think he needs to stop this. 40. Jeez. Oh, he can't stop this. He has one, unless he has a bunch of combos in his hand. He has 1 yellow injury. Yeah, this is the game 1.
So he's at 20, 30, 40, 50,000 right now. Again, though, he can't invest too much into this attack, or he'll, won't have enough to win off of the last attack.
Yeah. Although he does have all those 5Ks on board still, so I think that's a lot. I think that's enough.
Yeah, that's a whole bunch.
Eddie said he would only take 20 minutes. He lied.
He's disqualified. 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, so a 50.
Yeah,
I think it's okay for him to use some stuff on board to maybe make this a little bit bigger. I would just make sure I didn't get blown out by 3 Dodoras, because I think he already used 1 Dodora, so I think
he would need Adoras and Jayco's and stuff in his hand.
Yeah, I think you're okay with Jayco right now, because if he Jayco's anything, you just get it back.
That's true.
Right? So those 3 cards is fantastic to get back.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree that he has a lot on board, guys. I think that I think using the board here is probably fine. But I think what he's trying to figure out is he has to keep something alive on board probably in case another one of these attacks fail, because he's probably going to attack with both the Goku and the Whis. But then he probably might need another thing to survive. So I'm sure he's using stuff on the board. He's just trying to figure out how much he wants to keep alive.
60k double strike crit is what he settled on, guys. And for Ginyu to stop that, he's gonna have to throw away almost 5 cards in his hand at least. And I don't know if that's... You might just have to take it at this... Well, and Eddie still has 9 cards in hand after dumping...
I know, that's what's insane to me, is you're right. For him to survive, he might have to spend... He spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 cards, 7 cards to become a Sensu Bean. He spent 7 cards. He's like, that sucks. I'm going to do 60k to you. And like you said, he might have to spend half of that maybe. He may have to spend 4 cards or so to survive. But he still has 9 cards in hand, and
that's ridiculous.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards on board. So it's just it's just so much advantage. It's he's just so far ahead on both board and hand. It's a tough decision for the Guinea player, because you either take it, but then like you said, he's still. I think this is probably you just take it. In my opinion, you take this hit.
I think he definitely has to take. Well, I don't think he has to, but I think he has to. His hand size at least. I don't think he has. There's no way he has enough to stop this with 1 energy up.
Yeah, I think you take it and you hope that he doesn't have another crit in hand. He doesn't have another double attack in hand. Yeah, because one's in the energy pile, one's in his thing.
I think he does. There's no way he would go for this if he didn't. He wouldn't be doing. I don't think he'd be.
Actually, no, wait, hang on. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, Dan. Maybe he doesn't take this. Maybe he tries to fight this one off, because then that would require his opponent to have two more double strikes in hand.
Oh, that's for sure.
Or attack like some weak, like a boo, and try to make it through that way.
Yeah,
it's tough.
If Ginyu can, he should stop this. Send back Champa. Ooh. I don't know about that. Because now it just gives him more double strike ammunition.
Yeah, that's a weird target to me. I would send back a Bulma. Yeah, the Champa attack is maybe he had to do that to survive. Maybe so like, but I don't know. I would still almost think the Piccolo is better at that point than the Champa.
Oh, I think. He didn't know that double strike sticks. Yeah, double strike sticks.
I'd say this happened to me. So I remember the second term I played in, playing against Bradley. I thought the same thing.
Yeah, because he gets the double strike for the turn, and the 10k is just for the combo, and yeah, so once it touches him, it's on him for the turn, and then damn.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because now he has another double strike coming in.
Yeah.
It's going to be probably infinite, right? That's 25, 30, 40, 50, 60 on board. Oh, he has another Sensu Bean. Another Sensu Bean. Good lord.
And he already took the life out of his life area and threw it to his discard already. So, although if I was playing, I wouldn't care, but I don't want to, be a I want this to be a friendly game, so I don't want to be like, hey, you can't do that. This is da 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 da. But
oh yeah, I mean, guys, that's not our call. That's the player's call. If Eddie wants to say he can, that's their decision. But no, as tournament organizers, we have to play essentially right by the rules, and the rules is, he can't take it back, and that's not our call. And if his opponent wants to say it's okay, then sure. But that's.
Can he beat his 100 and something K? Wait, who's he talking about? 15. Jeez.
Yeah, so 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 5.
Oh, the heck is going on? How does Eddie? It feels like Eddie has all these cards.
How did I get to 105 and he's at 85? It's like I can't count. 15, 20.
I have count 95 right now.
40k, it's halfway. It's like that's fine.
40k.
Hey,
wins.
Zuhair, thank you for stopping by, man. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, Zuhair, thanks for stopping. Sucks you didn't win. He's one of my local friends that I play with.
Oh.
But yeah, good job. Anyways, I saw your match and just wasn't your time today, but I'm sure it'll come up better next time. All right, so it looks like there's. Do we need to reset? I think.